and gentlemen, after SOPs come hikes. Often in politics, more so in India. It happens after a season's change when we say bye-bye to polls or the election season. Latest seems to be in Mumbai. There's a proposal to increase water taxes by 8%. Legally, absolutely legit. According to policy approved 12 years ago, the BMC is allowed to increase water tax by a maximum of 8% on an annual basis. But here's what's happened over the last 2 years. And that's what makes this even more interesting. Some in Mumbai are saying upsetting. The move comes a year after the civic body's unsuccessful bid to hike charges. It had planned the rise or the tax hike for 2023-24 fiscal as well. However, the proposal was withdrawn after the then Chief Minister Eknath Shinde's order. The proposal has been made and sent for the latest one. But here's the hitch. There's another election cycle round the corner. And this time, it is BMC's very own election, which we all know is, by the way, Asia's richest civic body. Now, here's the context. The BMC supplies at least 3,950 MLD of water on a daily basis. What does this mean? It is almost equivalent to 1,500 Olympic-size swimming pools. Before we go any further, let's listen in to what Mumbaikars say.
BMC has proposed an 8% increase in water taxes. Are Mumbaikars ready for it? Will they be paying the additional 8% or not? We've been joined by Mumbaikars. Let's try and understand. Day in, day out, we deal with water.
Yes.
And we pay taxes also.
Yeah.
But now an additional 8% has been proposed. So are you guys ready for it?
No. We are not ready. It's okay. Sometimes okay, but there is no water. Water supply, sometimes very less, some muddy water. You all can raise price, but you have to see the middle class people also, no?
What are the concerns when it comes to increasing water tax? Are you ready for it?
I don't think they should increase water because water is something that needs to be, it's a very basic necessity of a person. Secondly, muddy water is a main concern because it's not purified, of course.
For each one, even we have children, we have senior citizens in our society. So just hiking the price of water doesn't make sense, that is a basic thing, like each and every family requires it. There are, at least we middle class, we can do it. There are the ones who are in poor and slum areas. They won't be able to, so I'm definitely not in the favor of hiking.
People who don't have aqua card, they boil the water for their own safety so that they may live long and they may not have any sort of diseases. And people who are having aqua card are also doing the same. They're taking aqua card water, once again boiling for their good health. So BMC, please beware. We are not happy with you at all.
Well, I'm being joined by Pranay Ajmera, who's a leader for NCP Sharad Pawar. And we'll also get more guests at this point. Let's try and see who all joins us. We have Advocate Godfrey Pimenta as well, who's a founder for Watchdog Foundation. Sitaram Shelar, who's a convener for Pani Hak Samiti, as well as Dr. Raju Vagmare, the chief spokesperson for Shiv Sena. Thank you very much, all four of you, for joining us. Very good evening. Well, let me first at the outset go to Advocate Godfrey Pimenta. Thank you very much, sir. Good evening. What do you make out of the hike? People would say it is legitimate. There's price hike everywhere. Supply costs have multiplied, as what BMC is saying. There's a 15% increase in their costs that they are bearing, but there's been no increase at all. But how do you look at this, sir?
The BMC has been splurging money on various infrastructure projects, giving us, bad roads, pothole roads. There is a lot of wastage of the, precious money which is lying in the BMC kitty on various projects. Now, all this majority of the roads are going down the drain in the monsoon, and during the election times we have various stops, reduction in property taxes. We have been highlighting the issue of the contaminated water over a period of almost now 2 to 3 years. The pipes which we are more than 100 years old. They are all antiquated, all decayed. Personally, I have carried out the what you call survey of some of the pipelines which pass through Maro Landiri East area, and these pipes are severely corroded. There is a lot of seepage of gutter water into the this water supply system, and this muddy water is then supplied to the local residents. People are falling ill. We have raised this issue time and again. There has been no comprehensive study done by the BMC to assess the ground reality as to what is required to be done. The old pipes, corroded pipes are required to be replaced. We can understand that we are ready to pay the high taxes, but not at the cost when you are not, taking the preventive measures to arrest the leakages. There is a lot of water which is being wasted. A lot of infrastructure projects. The pipelines are getting burst.
So I get your point, but Advocate Godfrey, here's my question. And before I go to the other panelists, I want to ask you this. Is the 8% hike justified or not in the current circumstances is what I want to know from you.
Not at all, because the last hike which was done in 2019 was at 2.49%. I saw the bill myself just now before coming on this debate, that the last hike which the BMC was done in 2019 was at 2.49%. You can increase taxes. I know that there is an administrative cost which go up every year that is need to be taken care of. But commensurate with the hike in the water charges, we also require the quality of water which the BMC supplies. There is no improvement in the quality. And time and again, the residents are...
Dr. Raju Vagmare, do you want to respond? Dr. Raju Vagmare, I'm taking this question straight to you. Do you want to respond to what you've heard? You've heard Advocate Godfrey, you've heard people who live in Mumbai. They're saying it's absolutely not justified for the services that BMC is providing.
See, the BMC is providing and they are trying to provide as good water as they can. There are problems in a water supply. There is a problem in a pipeline leakage. There is a water has been stolen. So they are ready to put now the CCTV cameras because it's a huge infrastructure to prevent the leakage and to prevent the theft of water, what is going on. So that BMC is working on it. The question comes to contaminated water. That is a serious problem and it is there. You cannot deny that that problem is there in Mumbai and BMC has to work on that to fix that problem. But at the same time, the cost of water is increasing on every time. The administrative cost, disinfecting cost, other things are there regarding the water. That has been increased. So somehow we have to balance that cost. And I'm sure that the 8% as the proposal has been given by the BMC. But I'm sure that the government will not go for 8%. Our ex-chief minister and our Shiv Sena top leader, Mr. Eknath Shinde, last time when that proposal came, he refused that proposal to increase the hike. At the same time, right now, he's a deputy CM. And
why do you think he denied? Why do you think he denied last time? Why was the hike not allowed? What was the reason, according to you?
The reason was not what you guys are thinking. It's not the reason. The reason he felt that the BMC is working on it and BMC should bear some cost before they can hike. They should prepare the good things regarding water. They can improve the water. That's why he said that hike should not be there. And this time also, Mr. Eknath Shinde, our leader, he is the urban development minister. All the BMC and other things come under him. He is a deputy CM. So definitely there will be a proper win-win situation for everybody will come out. And in this, we are promising that in coming year, we will see that the BMC will work very hard to improve the quality of the water as well as the leakage and the theft of the water.
Sir, you are already doing an election pitch. You are already doing an election pitch and you will have ample time to do that election pitch. But my question was very simple. Why did the hike? Sir, I have a request. People are watching you. People in Mumbai are watching you. People across the country are watching you. A very humble request. I'll give you a few minutes. If you can park the car somewhere in the side so we don't have the audio and technical glitches. And people who want to watch you and get your responses can get you very clearly. I'll give you a few minutes. Please indulge us. It's because of technical reasons. Thank you very much. We'll just get back to you. Meanwhile, let me just come right now at this point to Pranay Ajmera. Pranay Ajmera, please respond. You just heard Dr. Raju Wagmare. How do you respond to this?
Sneha, everyone here is a consumer. And a consumer is one who pays for the services which he receives from the service provider agency or from the government department. Here, what is happening is, Sneha, even you must be feeling this thing, and anyone in the panel will agree to me. They are increasing taxes on water, but there is no water. And if there is some water, it is contaminated. At the same time, we feel that the tanker mafia is spreading his wings. So just to help tanker mafia in a way, directly or indirectly, the government is coming up with the policies which will be helpful to the tanker mafia. At the same time, the government hike toll prices, but there is no road. The government hike electricity charges, but the electricity is very high, or at times there is very troubled supply. At times, the property taxes of the government is very, very high. The point is why the middle class is always being a victim of the government policies. Every other day, we get to read or we get to witness government coming up with some or the other policies, which is the ultimate burden of which is falling on the shoulders of the middle class. This is something unexpected. Ma'am, if you are providing services, charge us. But when your services are so damn bad and full of deficiency, it is, you are supposed to compensate the masses instead of charging them or overcharging them in form of taxes or whatever. That comes to other point. If we are connecting the services, ma'am, the GST. You are charging on petrol, the GST, you are charging on diesel, but you are not providing us the services. I am not deviating from the topic, ma'am. The crux of the matter is you are charging us, but you are not.
Dr. Raju Wagmare, do you want to get it? Dr. Raju Wagmare, to what Mr. Pranay has just said, I'm adding a question.
And there are no elections
the BJP and the other parties, they went hammer and tongs after the Congress government in Karnataka, where they said that hikes after hikes are being now proposed because they are not able to give the guarantees. Is this now turning to be Maharashtra's reality? Elections came, freebies were promised, including Ladki Bahin, game changer politically for the Mahayuti. Is now the cost being borne by people? Dr. Raju Wagmare.
No, I think this kind of the way you are putting the things and the way you are joining the things, it's completely wrong. There is no such a things that freebies are there. So now the tax is going to be on water and other things will be increased is absolutely false, and it is not true. I agree with the gentleman just now was talking about. I agree with him that what he was talking about, the tanker mafia, that we are going to look into this. We are going to make sure that Mumbai tanker mafia will be destroyed, and we will see that because there is a tanker mafia in Mumbai, and that we are going to take control.
Pranay Ajmera, 30 seconds before I go to the next panelist. Please respond, Pranay Ajmera.
Sneha, my dear friend from Shiv Sena, is actually trying to escape the question. The point is, if you're charging us, provide us. Where is the water? Ma'am, go to any high-rise building in Mumbai. If you are staying in Mumbai or if there are relatives in the Mumbai, they must be facing the water shortage. At the same time, there are proposals from the government that they will soon be increasing the price of best buses. The point is, they charge us. They did not charge us before elections. Since elections are over, their intention has been achieved. Now they are gonna.
Let me get in Sitaram
to recover the money
Let
from
me
the
get
people
in
just
Sitaram
to finance their previous.
Because you may go at each other saying that, these are just political rhetorics. Let's get in Sitaram Sheller. Both of you know Sitaram Sheller as well. Good evening, sir. Thank you for your patience. A simple question I want to ask. How good, how bad is it in Mumbai? Let's start with water, the supply. and then the rest? How do you really look at it, Mr. Sitaram Sheller? You live there, you worked in it, you work in this area. Who's right?
Yeah, so thank you. First of all, I must say that just keeping and shouting around BMC and how it is not doing a good work, I must tell you that BMC is the only municipal corporation across the Asia who is having a very quality water supply. And as well as it is the only municipal corporation in India which owns dam to tap network and which is having a water access, means water stock, which is more than enough to supply to every citizen of the Mumbai. But then why the
Okay.
price hike? I think this price hike is already constructed or passed by the BJP and Shiv Sena when they were together, and they passed that every year 8%, up to 8% hike will be there to O&M cost, to cover the O&M cost. Okay, but now why this discussion is happening now? Because it's always happening, and you rightly said that now the BMC elections are now on the verge, and that's why the people are expecting that, okay, then will they allow this hike or not? Every 4 years, the hike continuously goes up. No discussions happened. Whenever the election year comes, then the discussion happened, and then they reduce or they do something else.
No, actually, the election year, the hike did not happen, Mr. Sitaram. The last hike was proposed. It was shot down by the Shinde government.
Yeah, that's what.
So the last hike actually did not happen.
Yeah,
And this time, after the elections, the hike is happening.
Yeah, last hike did not happen.
Do you not want us to discuss this?
Yeah, but this will. Yeah, I want to discuss this. I am saying that this hike will not happen. That is what my gut feeling is. This will create a atmosphere like us. We are discussing it, and then it will roll back. That is my assumption or my understanding of the issue. Because BMC's G budget, which is
Advocate
a water
Godfrey,
budget,
would you want to come in? How do you look at what Sitaram Sheller has said?
I think I need
look
to
at what Sitaram is saying. He's
complete this second
BMC
point, which is technically very much strong.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Sitaram.
Yeah, so the thing is, BMC's G budget, which is actually water and sanitation budget, it has already reserve surplus. And this reserve surplus is now used for many other works. So BMC's water department has reserve money. It is around 20,000 crore. Okay, it's a huge amount. Okay, so they have reserved that much money.
20,000 crore is reserve money that they have, is what you're saying?
First point.
Help us to understand this. Sitaram Sheller, are you saying 20,000 rupees is reserve money that BMC has?
Yes, 12,000 I am saying, not 20,000. 12,000 crore is reserved. Okay, and already that reserve can be used, but that's why the hike is not necessary. But if you have that much money with you, why the issues are still there? There are 2 million people not having access. Okay, there are around, what we can say that 3 million people having a intermittent water supply, which is having some contamination issues and that. And I think that issue is not the engineering or administrative issue. Let me just
very quickly go to other panelists to get response to you. Dr. Raju Vadmani, you have a right to respond. You had Mr. Sitaram Sheller give a thumbs up to BMC for their water supply. I mean, not literally, but he said there's a lot of good that's happening with the BMC. There are bads, there are downs, but there are lots of goods. But look at the stunning amount that he's given. The reserves that BMC has. Would you say you still are justified to get that? He's saying that amount that the BMC has is being used for a lot of other things as well. Not just water supply for that matter. So what is this hike about then?
No. See, the BMC has reserve for every department. They kept something reserve as an emergency fund or the fund to use for when catastrophe happen, because we are living in a highly dense populated city. If anything goes wrong, any project goes wrong, you need reserve. So that does not mean that you don't require water tax has to be increased, because if you don't keep reserve and if you use reserve and then when you need it, then what we are going to do? That is number one. So number two is, when we are not increasing the taxes, people are going to say, oh, you didn't increase the taxes last time because there was an election. Now, if we will do something good, you are going to say that, yes, you guys did it for election. If we didn't do anything, then you are going to shout that you are not doing anything for people. So the problem is,
No, we are not
people
going
are
to shout that
to
you've not
talk on
increased
every
taxes by
angle.
8%, but Mr. Sitaram says his gut feeling is because BMC elections are coming, the hike is not going to happen. Very quickly,
See,
last response.
that is
Dr.
what. But
Advocate Godfrey, very
you
quickly
guys are
respond.
talking
How do
on
you look
both
at what
sides.
Dr. Wagmare has just
Sneha, I
said?
have a very small point to contribute.
A minute each. Okay,
Yeah.
let Advocate Godfrey first respond. Very quickly, Advocate Godfrey, 40 seconds.
अरे त्याला call कर ना.
The BMC has proposed 4,000 crore desalination plant at Manori. Now the cost of that 400 MLD plant, which Chennai Municipal Corporation has set up at 2,000 crore. So why is the BMC paying twice the price for the similar plant? And that is the amount now the BMC is recovering from the Mumbaikars. That is what we are opposing, that there are scams happening in BMC. Nobody is talking about the scams and why the Mumbaikars should bear the extra amount by way of taxes. Secondly,
All right, Pranay
the
Ajmera.
BMC is collecting huge
30
amount.
seconds, please.
Yeah, the BMC is
Sneha.
collecting huge amount in development charges. There are buildings in Mumbai which have been granted
So we're
occupation
totally out of time.
certificate,
Pranay
but they
Ajmera,
are
if you can
not
come
supplied
in for
water.
30 seconds.
Sneha,
Pranay
let
Ajmera.
me- Sneha, for the last 3 years, there have been no local body courts in Maharashtra. The BMC is being ruled by the officers and the entire working is in doldrums. The common man, the Aam Aadmi, has no one in BMC or any other municipal corporations in Maharashtra who can pay any heed to their grievances. And so, the dictatorial working of the officers is the main reason behind this hike. As far as elections in the BMC is concerned, no one in the
Okay.
panel is can do Bhavishyavani since the matter is pending before the
All right, we're
Honorable
totally
Supreme
out
Court.
of time,
So this
gentlemen. Thank you
decision
very
is
much for
actually
joining
a
us.
dictatorial call.
Advocate Godfrey, Sitaram Scheller, Dr. Raju Wagmare, as well as Pranay Ajmera. Thank you very much for joining us. It is an election year, so it's going to be interesting to see whether this 8% proposed tax actually comes through. Remember, the last election cycle ensured that people did not have to pay the brunt of tax hikes, but what happens before the BMC election is something that we'll have to wait and watch. Time for a very short break. Call lines are open. Do tune in and do join us with your calls as well as we look at some of the unsafe campuses and just how unsafe women are in our universities.